There we go. I got some light there.
You so fancy.
Fancy schmancy. So what's up, Carlo?
Oh, geez, man. Everything, nothing. All sorts of stuff. It's been a busy couple of months.
You
Yeah,
were
just
away for a bit, right?
I was. When was the last time we did this? I can't remember now. It's been a little bit.
I feel like you had just come away from somewhere else.
Okay, did I just get back from the UK? I think it was, or was it before I went to the UK?
I think it's before UK.
Oh my
I
God.
think.
Okay, so there's a lot of ground to cover then. Holy smokes. Okay. Whew. All right. Yeah. Well. Good to see you. It's been forever. Oh man. Geez. Yeah. So okay. So this was back, I guess, late summer. Went to the UK because Secrets is now part of the I guess ISA group of is it review outlets, and it's like a European sort of, it's international now, but started off as a European group of like photo review sites, audio
Okay.
review sites, and it sort of expanded into home theater and automotive and a few other things. So we were invited to join, and because they wanted some North American journals to be part of it, and we agreed. It's a good bunch of people. It's very cool.
Okay.
So we were there for I was there for, they had like an awards ceremony that they do every year, kind of like how we do the best of awards. They do the ISA sort of best of awards, and they had a ceremony there, and I went. But while I was there, after that, I visited three small UK manufacturers. Playback Distribution, who's a sponsor with us, has three brands in the UK that they ooh, what's going on there?
Oh, I have stuff in the way. Sorry.
Okay.
There was a cable in front of your face, and so I was like,
how dare you, sir? No,
Yeah.
no. So anyway, Playback has three UK manufacturers that they represent in here in the States, and what was it? MJ Acoustics, PMC, and Avid Hifi. So I did a little sort of, while I was there, I stayed like a few extra days and visited each one of those companies, and it was just really great. MJ Acoustics is like a tiny little UK brand. It's basically just like family operation. They've been around for like 25 years, and of all things, they make subwoofers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, subwoofers
Was
in
this
the
the
UK.
giant subwoofer company?
No, they're not, and they're not that big. You mean
Okay.
giant? Like, I mean, like in terms of like size or whatever?
Yeah, because we
Or
talked about. I think our last one was with sorry, the dude from Playback.
yeah, with Rob Stanley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And
No,
so,
no. You're talking Deus.
yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Deus machines or whatever. I know those guys are in the States here. I think they're in Utah or something, and they make those monster subs for custom install stuff. MJ makes they make kind of like hi-fi centric subwoofers. Basically, that's kind of what their mantra, I guess, is. And so most subwoofers you see are like beefy drivers with like stiff suspension in like in a cabinet, basically sealed or ported, and they have like a high power amplifier that drives them basically. They take a slightly different approach. They use like a pair of really high efficiency drivers, so you don't
Okay.
need that much amplifier power to drive. I mean, I think most of their amplifiers top out maybe 500 watts, mostly less than that.
Yeah.
But and they have a few different designs, but they just sound really nice, and they mesh really well with hi-fi systems. They do
Okay.
home theater really good too, but it's kind of nice to see a different spin on a subwoofer design, where it's like, you're not dealing with like tons of power and stuff, and it's just a different take, which I really appreciated. And they have a
Okay.
couple that are like that are like combination up and down firing. They have more traditional designs, and it's just really neat. But the fact that like this dude John Jeffers and his like family,
hmm
like in his little sort of house workshop in Peterborough, and just outside London, have been building subwoofers for 25 years. It's like, who the heck knew?
Oh,
You
they
know,
do it
it's like,
out of their house?
yeah. Well, it's not their house. They have, it's basically a little, it's a it's a separate building, but it's like really small. It feels like a house basically, but
Okay.
everything's all done in there, and it's just like really wild, and
Huh.
it's just really really cool. Super nice people. So yeah, it was just great to. eh, It's not DIY. I mean, these guys do gorgeous job in
Yeah.
terms of their fit and finish and stuff. But it's just kind of like it's just a little family operation. So it's like, like a small business kind of deal, and it's like it's just really cool to see.
Huh.
So it was really fun, and we need to get I'd like to get a couple of their subs in for review or whatever at some point, because it's really, really. I know you would, probably.
Oh yeah. I mean, are they all gigantic or are they like kind of
No.
small?
They have some small ones. I think their smaller reference line, the 2 and I think 400, are very smaller compact subs, and like I said, they have this sort of this one called the Kensington, I think. It's like
Okay.
almost like a pedestal a little bit, and it's got like a up and a top and bottom mounting sub that kind of fire this way.
Hmm.
Um, and then they have a sort of a standing pillar that's got front firing ones as well. I mean, they have a few different designs, but a little bit of everything, which is really kind of
Okay.
cool. Yeah. Visited PMC. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Were you about to say something?
Oh, no, I was just thinking about subwoofers, and I
There
have
you go.
I have the new Dolly one, the 14F in here.
The big one, the
No,
14F,
no, the
or
14. It's
the
not the new
16.
Dolly one. It's so the not that one. I have the it's just I think it's called the 14, the K14F. So
Okay.
because on the previous Dolly review, I got the 12-inch subwoofer,
Uh
so they just sent along the 14-inch one, and um, I love it so much.
huh. Those Dolly guys. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it
Yeah.
is. I have
What what
zero complaints.
what about it? What about it is kind of like getting your
So it's
attention?
really, as with all their subs, it's really simple. It's there's no real bells and whistles. There's like the crossover, the volume,
Hmm.
some
The
connections.
basics.
That's it.
Hmm.
Like there's no app, there's no nothing. And so you just kind of get it set up, you kind of dial it in, and then you watch a movie, and then you realize, oh, I gotta turn this down. and
Oh.
then and then you play some music, and you're like, oh yeah, this is so like it's kind of like trial by error,
Hmm.
and I don't mind it as much. It's weird, like how we get all the calibration software and you dial everything in, but there's something nice about just kind of figuring it out as you go.
Yeah.
It's not the most hi-fi thing to do, but it's
Well,
more fun sometimes.
that's how typically you do it. I mean, before room correction and Dirac and all these other things came along, it's
Hmm.
basically, or Odyssey. It's like, yeah, you basically listened, you dialed it in, maybe you ran a few test tones if you were really nerdy about it. But it's a question of just sort of dialing it in to match the rest of your system, the rest of the levels, basically, of the rest of your speakers. So it's the traditional way it's always been done, and yeah, there's some fun in that, absolutely.
Yeah, and like I sometimes when you do get like either sub or system in and then you calibrate it, um, it doesn't sound as good. Yeah, like I did like the Marantz receiver that I always have. Like I have that, and then like, you could run Odyssey, but it just something sounds wrong, and so like I sit with it for a couple days, and then I end up just readjusting all the levels anyway, just to make it sound better to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, unless you really sometimes go in and manually futz with these things after you do your initial calibration, it's like they calibrate everything to a target basically, and a lot of times it's flat.
Mhm.
It's not uncommon sometimes to hear people when they calibrate a system, they'll say, "Well, where'd the bass go?" Because it's calibrated to a flat target, and um, rooms have natural room gain. So I mean, more often than not, especially with subs, they'll accentuate the lower end, and if you don't sort of account for that, and after you calibrate it, you can, because I know when I've done calibrated used Odyssey or Arc or whatever in the home theater,
Mhm.
after the calibration's done, I check out the graph and everything, listen, and it's like usually more often than not, I'm like, all right, I just want to adjust the I guess the target curve at the lower end, just like boost it up just a little bit, just juice it just a touch. Um, you know, occasionally boost the level by a couple of dB just to kind of like get it to where I like it, because it's like it's I don't like a flat room response. I like to feel the low end. I don't like it ridiculous, but I like to be able to have the foundation there and feel the bass coming through, especially with movies and stuff. It's great.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's always a little. These things are never perfect, and you kind of have to. They give you a starting point, basically. I think is a roundabout way of saying it. So you have to always sort of tweak it a little bit after you get your initial calibration, and there's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with that.
like I remember I was talking to the guys at Arundel, and they were saying, like when I did my review, and I thought it sounded good, but like I felt like the center wasn't properly integrated, or just like it
Mm,
was maybe a bit too small, or because
mm-hmm.
it's a sealed, really compact center,
Mm-hmm.
and they felt like all the voices were really chesty.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things they asked was like, "Hey, what's your subwoofer cutoff at?"
Mm-hmm.
And like, because I have it paired with four standards, and so I was like, like um, it was like 80 hertz,
That's a
and he's like,
standard, yeah.
"Yeah," he's like, "You should do 120,
Mm-hmm.
like just across, like from now on, just do 120," and then
Mm-hmm.
gave me some other adjustments, and it totally changed
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
bearing of everything. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
Yeah. Depending on your room and the speakers, yeah, sometimes, a higher crossover point's really good. It's not unusual. So yeah, 80's just, the THX, I think, original standard or whatever. And yeah. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, and yeah, I've had to cross speakers. I mean, especially like my height speakers. I mean, they have to be crossed at like 150 or something. So,
yeah,
yeah, depending on the size. Yeah, that's great advice. So it makes total sense. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
hmm
Anyway, so
So
PMC.
yeah. Sorry. um, yeah, in case anyone wonders, because it's been a while, and these are very these conversations kind of run the gambit, so they kind of go a little everywhere. So here we go. Uh,
This is the
P-
the Hi-Fi Tangent podcast. Which,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. We should recall is the Hi-Fi Tangent podcast. PMC, I was kind of a real surprise, because I was expecting, because I mean, they've been around for a long time, and they make sort of gorgeous speakers, and they have a history of starting off in the professional field, right?
Mhm.
So I was kind of expecting PMC to be like, almost like a clean room environment in which a bunch of dudes in lab coats and pocket protectors and stuff, just doing engineering stuff. They totally not that at all. Totally not that at all, and a much smaller operation than I had was preconceiving. Um,
Mhm.
their main sort of office area is in. You drive off the road onto a little country lane, and you pull up to this like really old sort of country manor sort of house, and that is their head office, which is really
That's
cool. I mean,
awesome.
you go in, and it's just like this sort of repurposed old country home, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. And they do a lot of their they have their sort of display area, they have their offices there, and they also have some of their engineering staff in there too. And it's just like, this is really cool. It's like it's like guys making speakers in like a really nice little old country home. It
Huh.
was awesome. um and then their manufacturing and assembly area is in an old former World War II ammunition factory. So it's this old like building that's just like so cool, and it's just like you go in, and it feels like you've stepped back in time into like
Huh.
like you expect to see Churchill walking out or something with about to do
Because their
about to do a
products are
speech
so
to rally the
modern.
troops. They are, and it was just the the weirdest sort of thing, and it's like, this is awesome. It's like a bunch of old and a bunch of new, and I was like, it was just wild, really, really wild stuff. And
Did you get to hear a bunch of stuff from them, or?
yeah, I got to hear a few things when I was there. They were their flagship speaker, the Fact Finestria.
Mhm.
They had a pair of those that were being tested out, and got to hear a little bit out of them. Um, and their what is it? Their Prodigy? No, Prodigy or Prophecy? Excuse me. The
Mhm.
Prophecy, the newest ones. We had a listen to a couple of those, and just really, really nice speakers.
Did you get a chance to hear their studios ones? Their main studio mains?
No, I didn't there. I heard them at a recent show actually, which were like the big these are the MB2 SEs or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever with the
It's
big
it's like
woofer
box and yeah.
with the big woofer that looks like it's like the front of a jet engine or something like that. Yeah, those things. I mean, I heard those at a show. Those things are like friggin' phenomenal. I've asked to review a pair of those someday, and they said we'll
Those
see.
are my desert island. Those are like not desert. Like if I had access to everything,
Hmm.
yeah, I would buy those.
Those that's a good pick. Those things just sounded phenomenal. I think I heard them at Warsaw, and it was just like, oh my god,
You know the
so
best
so
thing is
good.
if someone breaks into your house, they can't steal them because they're too big.
That's it's like trying to rob a safe. You need like a chain and attach it to
Yeah,
a pickup truck, and they have to drag it out. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
yeah. Those are like I mean I haven't heard them, but just from just the visual, like when I first just got into like
Yeah, yeah.
audio and like speaking, like that design was
Hmm.
it's all the feels.
Fun fact, I mean, years ago, PMC used to be distributed in Canada by Bryston,
Oh,
and they had I remember seeing the magazine ads for them like when I was like in high school and college. They were distributed in Canada by Bryston, and they used some Bryston amplification actually for some of their active
hmm.
speakers at the time. Changed since then, obviously, but yeah, that was a fun little interesting fact. And both those brands were like big in studios. I mean, I remember a bunch of Canadian studios had like Bryston amps, as their as their main part of their rigs and stuff. So yeah, it was a neat combination.
I've always wanted to hear that stuff. The
Bryson,
Brysons, yeah,
yeah, we can always see about having them send you something.
yeah.
It's
You know
entirely
me,
it's entirely possible.
man. That's it's always been like that brand that's been kind of on the radar, but like
Hmm.
there's no real path to get there for the most until now.
Well,
Yeah, until now.
you just have to ask the right people.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Well, I mean,
you know,
we haven't actually. It's been a while since we've done a Bryston review, and I'm sure they would. I mean, they have some newer speakers, and they have some new. I think an integrated, which is kind of nice. So I mean, we could definitely see. And since you're local, it's kind of like they're in Peterborough. Not
oh, are
they
they
used to be
really?
in they used to be in Peterborough. I think they and Axiom have merged, or Axiom bought them actually, and now
Okay.
I think they're up in Dwight. I think is where their main office is now. They've kind of consolidated everything up in Dwight.
Where's
Um,
Dwight?
that's like it's cottage country
Oh,
um,
okay.
up there. So, but yeah, I can send a few emails and see if there's something you want. We can work this out.
Sure.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind a very nice video based review. I think that would
Hey,
be kind of
man.
hey.
Yeah.
Mm.
Just for everyone watching, this is how it happens. I
This is how the sausage is made. This is how
yeah,
it works.
I beg, Carlo provides.
I am a magnanimous leader. No. Oh man.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
so PMC is dope,
Yeah,
basically.
PM's super dope. Yeah, absolutely. And super nice people too. Very, very cool. Took me to a great Indian restaurant for dinner actually,
Really?
which was really cool. Yeah, it was very, very neat.
Do you? So I have to ask. So
But
when you go to when you do press trips and like you eat, right?
yeah.
Uh, you typically do you kind of take it easy because you don't want to be like messed up for like the next day sort of thing? Because like you need food.
Oh well, you gotta be careful, obviously, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever seen me in real life, it's kind of like I don't tend to take it easy. I don't tend to take it easy. But no, I mean, no, it was really really good. It was very nice and everything. So you know,
Well, I guess if you're gonna go to England, you might as well have Indian food because it's
yeah, because
kind of a
they do it good
basically
there
the same
actually.
place.
No, they do it very good. It's like fish and chips and Indian food. It's like yeah,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
have curry sauce on fish and chips, right?
Okay, if they do, I've never had
I
it.
think.
I'm a fish and chips traditionalist mostly, I guess. So it's like yeah.
I found a place down the road that's fairly decent. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I
like
was surprised.
a fish and chips place.
They do fish and chips. It's not strictly fish and chips, but
Okay.
uh,
Ah,
I did find when I was in I think PEI, there was like a place that was called, I think it's called Rick's. That is
Mm-hmm.
like the place that they recommend, and it was good. They have like
Mm-hmm.
that traditional sort of the batter, but then there's another place called Richards that has like a crispy
Ooh.
batter, and it's so much better. But they don't talk
Mm.
about it. It was just like it was near a beach or something. I was like, oh, this is exactly kind of because I was born in England,
Right.
and so I want my newspaper, I want my malt vinegar, and I want a crispy
Exactly.
crust. Yeah.
Exactly. Now, what kind of fish did they use? That's the other question when you're dealing with fish and chips.
Uh, so the one I got was sole,
Okay.
I think. They had
Mm-hmm.
like halibut or sole, I think.
Okay. Because it's
And
usually like I think usually the main one is cod, but yeah, there's either halibut or sometimes I've seen sole as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forget honestly, but I think someone said that like I think halibut is more fishy or less. One of them is more
You
down market than the
know,
other.
it could be that.
It could be the other
I
way
think
around.
no, it could be halibut is more. I don't know. I see. The fish and chips place, that I grew up with was just like in a little strip mall, but and it's still there because it's like a neighborhood staple. It's that good.
Yeah,
We always got halibut, and that's what we got, and it was great. I mean, I loved it. It was just like a nice mild white fish and chips. It was awesome. But yeah, I guess I think it's mostly cod is typical, but I'm not an expert, so I don't know.
yeah. So like I have fond memories of fish and chips,
Hmm.
and but I have no idea about the specifics.
If there's any fish and chips experts out there, please drop us a line and let us know what is the proper seafood to use in fish and chips. We inquiring minds want to know. So there you
Actually, I'd be curious to see, like, for the 10 people to watch this, um,
go.
have you,
Is it
how
up to
many
10
are
now?
you, I don't know, but like, are you fish and like, maybe is there an audiophile fish and chips, like,
Hmm.
correlation?
It's entirely
The
possible. You
love
never
for
know.
British audio and then fish and chips, does
Fish and
those come in
chips?
handy?
I would think so. Fish and chips. Scotch eggs. Love Scotch eggs. Those are really cool. You ever tried Scotch egg before?
I don't know if I have.
It's basically like a medium to hard boiled egg inside it, and it's wrapped with like sausage and breaded
Oh,
and deep fried. And
oh,
it's actually
I'm
you
sure it's,
scoff, you scoff,
no,
but it's actually quite good.
I think I might prefer the oh my god, the miso
What,
eggs.
haggis? No, miso
Miso
eggs. Yeah,
egg,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Those are good. Those are good.
Those are
Yeah, yeah.
amazing. There's
Those are,
as
man.
an aside, there was when we went to Japan the last time
Mm-hmm.
in Osaka, the train station there. It's like a 10-story,
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous
Yeah.
train station, and on
Mm-hmm.
every it's like a triangle, and every point is basically Eaton Center. But on the
Mm.
10th floor, you have to take a 4-story escalator up to the very top, and at the top there
Wow.
is almost like a ramen pop up where there's like a small ramen shop that's
Mm.
representative, from
Mm-hmm.
what I've been told, of ramen restaurants in the vicinity. And the
Mm-hmm.
one
Yeah,
place
yeah.
we went to, you get your ramen, but then they give you a bowl of eggs, and it's
Mm.
unlimited. So you can just
All you can eat eggs.
it's all you can eat miso eggs.
Mhm.
And so like so I put 6
That
in
could be
my
dangerous.
ramen bowl, and then my daughter, just she was like 3 or 4 at the time.
Hmm.
She just ate ramen eggs the entire time. She didn't have the soup at
Wow.
all.
Oh.
And so now when I come back and order ramen, I have to at least get one extra order of eggs. But
Hmm.
the price is just brutal here.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't
Because
doubt
then
it.
your ramen's
I
like
don't.
$25.
Oh. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost cheaper to fly to Japan and have it there.
Yeah.
Jeez. Unbelievable. Oh. Oh. That's a nice little
Yeah.
story, though. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. So anyway, kind of,
Next time we both go to Japan.
if we can wing it, yeah, that would be absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Anyway,
All right.
sorry.
So back to
Back
England. Back to
back to
England.
England. Back to England. Okay, bring it in. Bring it in. So yeah, after PMC, visit third company was Avid Hi-Fi, and uh, again another small company. Basically almost pretty much another family operation. Super nice. They build really gorgeous turntables. Really, really nice turntables. Very high tech, very clean. They almost sort of look German a little bit, I guess, in their design, but um, high quality turntables, really nice integrated amps. Uh, you know, high power, but kind of sort of very sophisticated, low key looking, but really really nicely put together.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah. So all in all, it was a really great trip, and I got a ton of content, and I got videos to get generated from those trips, which playback is hounding me about, which I appreciate their patience. It's coming, it's coming. I promise it's coming. But there's just been so many other things. So yeah, there was that. Yeah. So I think the next thing after that was the trip to China, visiting
Oh yeah.
Rotel, because that was a whole other adventure. Because it was around the Warsaw show, I thought I was going to be brilliant and efficient and say, I'll go to China. And then on the way back, instead of coming home, I'll take me to Warsaw and then Warsaw home.
Yeah.
You know, take care, kill two birds with one stone. Um, God, I could legitimately say I went around the world on that trip, and I don't want to do that again because it was just like, uh,
What is China like?
I was in China
Is that
basically
an off? Is that an off
24
podcast for?
hours. I was in China for about a total of 24 hours. So I
Okay.
don't know that I could give you an accurate thing of what China was like. Um, I was supposed to be there for 2 days, but because of a flight cancellation and rebooking from San Francisco to Hong Kong, they basically said, you know what, let's just compress everything into 1 day. So I arrived in Hong Kong in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. I flew out like at midnight the same day. So
Oh.
it was China was fast, but so I really didn't get a chance to see any of Hong Kong, and all I saw of China was Zhuhai, which was just inside mainland China, and it was I mean it was great. I thought it was really really nice. It was sort of a I've been to Singapore and I've been to Japan, and sort of kind of like a cross between the two, I guess. It was very comfortable,
Hmm.
very nice. Food was great, and everyone was very accommodating and stuff. Um, but yeah, I wasn't in China long enough to get a really good sense. A couple of interesting things was um, landing in Hong Kong. To get to mainland China, you can either do a ferry or you can do, but at that hour, there's an overwater uh, freeway basically, and it's
Hmm.
about, I was it 30 miles or something like that. So basically, you go through the security checkpoints and then you drive over water on this freeway, and then at about a halfway point, it goes underwater. So they've
Oh.
sunk the freeway underwater for a good chunk because to give room for, I guess, the cargo ships to go through or whatever. And
Yeah.
then it comes back up, and then you pass, and then Macau is on your left, and then you get into mainland China. And so, and Zhuhai is just in there, and Zhuhai is the city where the Rotel factory is. Um, very Everyone at Rotel was awesome, and again, Rotel was another thing where it was like Rotel's been around for like 60 years, 60, 65 years or whatever.
Hmm.
And so again, I was expecting a much larger operation. It's actually, I mean, they have 160 employees, so it's not
It's not
small,
small. Yeah.
but it's not as massive as I thought it would be. It's a tight knit group of people,
Hmm.
and the manufacturing floor was very cool. They had a whole separate section where they worked on the Michi stuff. It was just a whole
Hmm.
separate room where just Michi, and then they had unlike some companies that like source out things like their transformers and stuff like that. They have other companies build their They wind their own transformers. They have like
Yeah.
they have these old. Well, they have a combination. They have these old, about a dozen old Japanese winding machines that wind transformers, and the operators are working on them. Then they also have some other newer ones that wind larger, like the really big ones. But it's just so cool to watch and just do them. And I put a little video up on the Facebook on our a Facebook feed, and
Yeah.
it's funny. It's got like thousands and thousands of views, and people are like going, I can't believe they wind transformers like this. Or it's like, why are they using such old machines? It's like, this seems very low tech or whatever. Oh, this is really wild. I mean, the range of responses, and it's like, the windings are like uneven looking, or no, those are right. I mean, you get all this
Yeah.
nerdy stuff, and it's just wild to see.
It's like everyone's an engineer, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah.
everyone's like a closet engineer or whatever, and it's just wild to kind of see the responses. And but it's like one of those videos where you kind of like can't help not watching it just because just
Yeah.
seeing the thing whine like that. It was just really cool. And it was funny. I asked them. He says because he's most of the machines they're using are like 40-year-old Japanese winding machines, and it's like they look like they've been used for 40 years. And I asked them, so why are you using? Aren't there more modern ones and stuff? They said, you know what? They said these things have been with us since the beginning, and they're bulletproof. I mean, they rarely break down, and when they do, we can fix them in house. So it's like, so they're consistent, and they just seem to last forever. And our operators love using them. As a matter of fact, they like using them more than the newer ones because the newer ones aren't as friendly to use. So it's like, fair enough, okay. Um,
But then it's also like the tradition. Like it's like, does everything have
yeah,
to be new? Like just use the old stuff. It's
yeah,
like,
well, that's exactly it. It's interesting you said that because something I guess, and I'm not the only one, but I guess in this sort of age with AI and all this other stuff, I expect everything almost. I almost come to the table expecting everything in hi-fi to be super shiny and polished, and you know, not Tesla, but kind of like this
yeah,
high, especially in high-end audio, you expect super advanced stuff, and it's like no, it's like there's a lot of tradition, a lot of uh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. A lot of hands-on stuff. I mean, a lot of work done at Rotel was hand done, still hand done work. I mean, the Michi assembly thing. When I was in there, they were making a bunch of the Q5 CD transports because they do things in batches basically. So it was like this time they were doing the transports, and it was all hand assembled and all that stuff, and it was just people just putting it all together, testing it out, and everything. And it was really wild to see. I mean, they have pick and place machines for the the tiny surface mounted stuff and everything, which you'd expect. But a lot of the work is still done by hand, and that's kind of the way it was with when I was in Japan as well, and then PMC, same thing. Just a lot of hands-on traditional stuff, which and the video we did at Martin Logan,
yeah,
just to kind of complete the picture. It's like the lady who was making that the panel with the mylar
yeah.
on it. I saw so many comments saying, "Why aren't they using machines for this? Isn't that in
Why are they in a clean room? Yeah.
yeah, it's why aren't they cleaning? Why aren't they using machines for this? How could it be? How the tolerances like? Why you can't possibly have an accurate, speaker built, by in this sort of manner and blah 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 and all this stuff. And it's like,
And why are there two old fat guys spinning on the speaker?
well, yeah, that's right. Dude, you're spitting on the mylar. It's like, shut up. And it's like, it's like, honestly, it was just. I mean, it's funny seeing those comments, but it's also like just it's just to me I love seeing the fact that people are still part of the equation, like
Yeah.
directly hands-on part of the equation making this stuff. The day we don't need people to make the stuff is probably the day I decide this is not worth doing anymore, and I toss in the thing and I go retire somewhere and do whatever, because to me that just takes the fun out of it, you know.
Yeah, it for the most part does. Like it's
Yeah.
like there's something to do the tradition of things, and
Yeah.
um I don't know, just but that's kind of with everything. If you're making art or if you're making speakers or you're making food, yeah, I don't want my
Yeah.
food
Yeah.
automated.
No, no,
You know?
no, not at all, not at all. I mean, and that's the right. There is an art to this. I mean,
Yeah,
yes, there's engineering. You want really good engineering. Obviously, uh, you want that technical understanding behind the stuff that these sorts of products. But there's an art and a creativity to this as well that a lot of times people either poo-poo or overlook or what or don't think about it. And I think that being having an art background like you do, that kind of resonates with me. So
Hmm. Yeah,
I
it's
find that.
like kind of like wood grain finishes. Like, yeah, you can have
Hmm.
a laminate that fakes it, but when you see a proper wood grain finish, it's
Hmm.
like, oh, this is just so much better.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It just feels real.
it feels real. It looks gorgeous. It makes you, it to me it just like it wants. I wanted more, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Anytime I've seen that, like on Dolly does a great job with wood finishes. ATC. Oh my God, those guys. Some of the
Sonus
finishes
Faber,
on this. There you go. The
that concerto
Italians.
G4 concertino.
Oh,
Oh my
Concertino. Yeah,
God.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I was just like, I love looking
Yeah.
at this thing.
Yeah, yeah. We did the masters of integrating that sort of natural woodwork in with their speaker. I mean, yeah, it's just gorgeous. So yeah. So no, it warmed my heart to see that in the UK, and it was just like great. And then also in at Rotel in China, it was a
Can I
big deal.
ask what was it like filming there? Were you like not allowed to film from
No,
airport to thing or?
no, you know what? It was actually pretty okay. I mean, I was in the airport. I was like shooting, footage in Hong Kong airport and stuff like that. And
Oh,
yeah, no, it wasn't. What I ended up finding out was if you're bringing like heavy, like serious camera rigs and serious video rigs and lighting and stuff, that's when they take notice or whatever. If you're just bringing like your phones and the little Osmo thing I had or whatever,
yeah.
no one stopped me. No one asked to see, asked me to pull the SD card out of it. No one asked to look at my phone or scan it or whatever. It was, very
Was your laptop cool too or?
totally cool. Like I had my laptop with me. Nope, no problem. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, it was very, very no problem at all. So,
Huh.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, but it's like if you bring the big stuff, that's when they sort of take notice and they're like, okay, what are you doing here? And we need to see what you're doing. So,
I'm gonna have to get a pocket then.
yeah, it's that thing. I love that thing. It's awesome. It's awesome. I think even just your regular camera. I don't think anyone. Well, I don't imagine anyone would have a problem with it. It's just like I said, production sort of stuff is what they like.
Okay.
Pay attention to. Um, but yeah, so that was basically I was in
Did
and out of
you
China. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
one more thing
Yeah, yeah,
because we both got one of the DX amplifiers like I got the
yeah,
headphone
yeah,
one.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You got the amplifier. Is
Hmm.
there a was there a hint of like is there a changeover happening within their product lineup?
Yes, there is, and I think you're going to see more of that next year. Yeah, yeah. I actually got a chance to see when I was in Munich this year. They brought a bunch of stuff that they had undercover that they actually brought me aside and took a little peek under, and it's like, ooh, yeah. You're going to see a lot of that DX3, DX5 aesthetic is you're going to see more of that in the bigger stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's I don't think I'm giving away too many secrets saying something like that. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out. But yeah,
Yeah, I would
very
like to
very cool.
see that propagated to their other.
I actually met when I was in the UK at the ISA thing. Sonus Faber was receiving an award, and Livio was there, and then one of his designers, who actually was the guy who, as a side hustle, did some design work for Rotel, and he was the one who came up with that design for the DX3 and the DX5. So got a
Hmm.
chance to chat with him a little bit. Super nice guy, really talented. But yeah, he had a great time working with them and refining that sort of design language for them. So yeah, you're going to see more of that.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Yay.
yeah, this was very neat. Um, but yeah, another interesting thing about Rotel, they were founded in Japan, but the family, and they're still a family-owned company. The family that owns and runs it is Taiwanese.
Hmm.
So they, a lot of people ask, well, isn't Rotel Japanese or whatever? And it's like,
Sort of.
technically, yes, it was founded in Japan and it was there for the longest time, but they since because the family has land and connections and stuff in mainland China and Taiwan and stuff in Taiwan, they kind of moved the production over to China and stuff. So it's there, but
Hmm.
not that it makes a difference. I mean, the quality of the stuff is still is still what it is. And now the fact that they basically Rotel basically has now directly took over all their distribution in the U.S. So because it used to be that their stuff was distributed, I think years ago by Bowers and Wilkins, and then it was because he had a relationship with them, and then it was distributed in the States by what is it? The same guy, Fine Sounds, I guess, at the time
Okay.
distributed Macintosh, Sonus Faber, and a few other things. There was a space in there where there were these um, Silicon Valley guys who owned BMW for a while and distributed. It was basically they eventually were tired of being sort of the redheaded stepchild because those companies didn't own them, they just distributed them, and they felt like they weren't getting the exposure that they needed to have.
Yeah.
And now they've just decided we're taking care of it ourselves. And now I think it's a brave move on their part, but I think it's necessary because the brand's been around for 65 years, and a lot of times they should be more well. Um, more recognized than they are. So I think they're going a long way to this is going to go a long way to improving that. So yeah, yeah, okay. I guess so.
So then you went to Poland?
I went to Poland. I ended up
Did you
going
go to
from
Dubai as well, or was that a stopover?
That was a stopover. That was like I went from Hong Kong to Dubai, then Dubai to Warsaw. And first time I've flown on Emirates, and that was like a whole other experience.
I heard
all
it's
in itself.
amazing.
It is freaking awesome. It is. I mean, I was in premium economy, and it felt like first class.
There's just no booze on the plane, right?
No, I didn't have any, so I can't say. I'm not 100% sure. There is a second floor on the plane because we were in a big Airbus A300 or whatever 800 thing it had the staircase that goes up to the upper level, and I think there's a bar up there. They wouldn't let me go up, unfortunately. I asked, but they wouldn't let me take a peek. But super clean, super clean. The staff was like super attentive and very very nice.
Were they kind of hot?
They were. Yeah, they were. There's no hands or buts about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just the best airline experience ever. So
food?
Food was for airline food. It was dynamite. It was really good. So any chance I could finagle a flight on Emirates anywhere, I'm gonna do it. But someday might do it again. But it was very very cool.
I'm gonna bucket list that one.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, went to Warsaw. Warsaw show was dynamite. That show is a fantastic show, and it's anyone who can get a chance to go to that show, it's worth it. 3 venues, just massive, well organized, super nicely. The crowd that comes in is like runs the gambit in terms of age groups, families, the whole 9 yards. It's just a really good show. Yeah,
it's Poland, right?
It's Poland. Yeah.
Are there
what?
Are there any non-white people there?
There are that come to that show, so yes,
okay.
There are. There are maybe not so many wandering around the streets that are native, but no, there are definitely a few at that show. Yeah. You won't be lonely, trust me.
All right.
No. But it's a great show, and honestly, I think if that show. It's the second largest show in Europe now, basically. And honestly, I think if that show added an industry / press only day, I think it would like mop the floor with Munich. I mean, it's just because Poland is just like or Warsaw is just like I don't want to say an up and coming place, but it's just like it's very cosmopolitan. It's growing fast. It's not expensive. So I talking to a bunch of. I mean, to eat there, it's totally cheap. Ubers there are ridiculously cheap. And talking to a number of the exhibitors who are there, who've exhibited both here and at Munich, and some of them at Expona, are like, it costs a fraction to exhibit in Warsaw as what it would cost in Munich or now Vienna, because moving to Vienna. and Exponent. I mean, it's a fraction, so it's like it's got all the element, and it's easy to get to. So it's got all the elements to be like a premier international. It is, but an even bigger premier international show. It's just, you know, I'm curious to see how now that the Munich show is moving to Vienna, what's that's going to be like in terms of attendance and stuff. Because I've heard a few people, yes, we're excited about it. Nah, we'll wait and see. But everyone loves Warsaw. I mean, everyone loves the Warsaw show because it's fun. It's just got a great vibe to it. They got a huge headphone section. Um, that and also there's a heavy duty. I guess DIY is not the wrong. It's not the right expression, but there's a definite heavy duty hi-fi um, community, I guess, in Eastern Europe and stuff. And so there's a lot of homebrew stuff or a lot of local brands that distribute there that you don't see here. And the stuff is like wild. I mean, there's some really, really cool stuff that shows up there that you don't see here, and that's part of the fun of going to that show. So
Hmm.
yeah, it kind of sort of broadens your scope of things.
So it's like
So yeah,
hi-fi moonshine, basically.
kinda, yeah, but in a really good way. You're not going to be like out, face first drunk out in the street afterwards. But it's like it's just really, really
I've
cool.
always kind of been curious about making something. I
You
have
mean
like,
like building
yeah,
a hi-fi component?
yeah, or
Well,
something. I have
there's
no idea how to do any of that stuff. Like I keep, like I have so many of these. Where are they? Oh, you can probably see them behind me. Like all the small, like Chinese amplifier, preamplifier, DAC things.
Mhm.
Um, and you could switch out. I think they call it the op amps for them,
Yeah.
but I never do that because I'm scared of like taking it apart and just breaking it.
No, I understand that. I understand that.
But I'd like to make something one day. I
There
think.
are a lot of good. I mean, if you do a little digging, there's a lot of good plans and DIY projects out there that aren't too hard to get your head around and put together. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. It's just a question of kind of finding what you're after. I mean, I don't know what are you thinking of? Like, are you thinking of like a little tube amp? Are you thinking of like something you know
Yeah, maybe that, or
something else?
maybe like a I don't know. It's possible to make a Class A B amplifier,
It
or
is. I
and a
mean,
pair of speakers. Yeah.
it is. Yeah. I mean, that's not beyond the realm of possibility. There are plans and stuff out there. It's just a question of how deep you want to get into this and how much time and money you're willing to invest. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would start with something small since
Oh
you're
yeah,
not this is going to be
because
your
I have no
first
idea what I'm
project.
doing. Just
Well, yeah.
make a Class D amplifier. Basically, that's what I would start with.
There you go. I mean,
There.
do you know how to do you know how
No,
to solder?
no,
No? I
no.
would practice soldering first. Make sure you have plenty of good ventilation. So yeah. But I would
So move would be the number one,
or
and
outside. you know. But yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But no, there's lots of resources out there if you want to DIY something. So
hmm.
go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would
yeah.
you ever make something?
I made a center channel speaker one time. I found some plans online for a center channel speaker, and I put it together and stuff, and it seemed to go okay. I mean, it wasn't perfect. There were some mistakes I made, and I
Hmm.
had to get my father-in-law to help me cut the holes in the baffle for the drivers and stuff because he's got the woodworking
Hmm.
skills to do that. But yeah, it didn't come out too badly. It didn't come out too badly. And I took electronics in high school, so I know how to solder.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, no, it was a fun project. I I
Hmm.
I don't know that I don't have the time anymore to kind of do something like that again. But yeah, it was a fun experience. It was rewarding. Yeah. So and you learn a lot. So no, it's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to invest in like a 3D printer.
There you go. There you go. I mean, when you got guys like going to the Capital Audio Fest I was just at, you have guys like Luca Chesky, who's basically making his who's basically making his second model of speakers that he's 3D printed. Basically, he's 3D
Oh,
printed the entire enclosure. Um, that kid is like just turned 19, and he's making these speakers, and it's just like, I mean, he's got a talented family. His father's David Chesky, the
yeah, but
recording. Yeah, still,
still.
yeah, yeah, just really, really cool. But yeah, completely 3D printed the speaker enclosures, like inside and
Huh.
out. So it's like it can be done. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I guess jumping out, the last thing I was at was Capitol Audio Fest just recently in DC, and
Mhm.
that was a fun show. A lot more home theater stuff there this year than previous years, so which was kind of interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, the coverage is pretty much all up on the site now. I think I got a couple of videos I still gotta upload, but other than that, it's pretty much done. But there was some fun stuff there, really
I
fun
took my
stuff.
kids to Toronto Audio Fest
Oh yeah,
because I had them that weekend, so I was like,
uh-huh.
I gotta go check it out and see if I can. They lasted 3 hours and they were
That's
done.
amazing. They lasted that long. It's
My son was
I.
bored from like half an hour in, and
God bless your
I
kids.
gave my daughter my small Sony camera to like
Hmm.
it just film some stuff for me.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, they were done pretty quickly. They were just,
I give your kids credit. 3 hours is miraculous. I mean, if my kids at that age wouldn't have lasted 20 minutes in an audio show, they would have been like, "What the
the
hell
best
is
was
this?"
Acora Acoustics. Uh,
Oh right, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm.
they were really nice and they entertained like so my daughter's like the music at this place is horrible. Like everywhere at the show is just what
Yeah.
and they were very loud about it. Like
Hmm.
just like why are they playing this? It sounds bad, like really loud in a room. And so we got to Agora and they were nice. They're like, hey, do kids want to hear anything? And my son wants to hear Michael Jackson. And then Winnie got to play Taylor Swift on a pair of
That's
Acora
awesome.
acoustic speakers, like the whole song,
That's
and it
nice.
actually drew a crowd. So I was like, "Hey, you know what?
Real music that people listen to. Who'd have
Yeah,
thought? You know?
yeah,
Oh man, yeah. No, the guys of the core are very cool.
yeah,
I think they have good experience with kids because I think they at a number of shows they partner with VPI. And if you've ever met Matt and Jane from VPI, they a lot of times they bring their kids along to the shows.
yeah,
They have three now, young kids, and they kind of run all over the place and do stuff, and everyone just sort of becomes their sort of surrogate caretakers at a show and stuff. It's super cool. But yeah,
yeah."
they probably have a good experience with with kids at shows. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, that's cool. That's fun. That is very fun.
And it was like around Halloween, so like every vendor sort of had Halloween candy. So my kids were just running from booth to
Oh, they were
booth,
probably
just
wired
oh
after a
yeah.
while, yeah. Oh my god, that must have been insane. How was the Toronto show? I mean, I haven't
It
been.
was a bit smaller than
Yeah.
it was like I think it was all just in one venue.
Hmm.
Um, it was pretty good. Like it was just a nice sampling of some of the gear there. There's a lot of people there. It was nice, you know. Um, it's still at the airport, which I feel like is a big deterrent
That show has always been there. I mean, ever since, even in
because
its
they no
sort
they
of
had one
earliest.
once at like the King Edward or something downtown.
Once, yes, but I mean, even in its earliest iterations, when I was in high school and college, it was always I always remembered at that convention center thing near the airport. I mean,
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. They did have it once downtown, and if I don't know why they don't have it down there. I don't know whether it's just because of cost or whether it's just because of accessibility to get
yeah.
stuff
Toronto's
down there
not
or
the
whatever.
easiest place to like
No,
navigate. It
no, and
like
it's
I have to
expensive.
go there after this. And
Yeah.
like when I looked at the map, I was like, it's going to take me like half an hour to drive into Toronto, and then when I get to Toronto, it's like another half an
Mm,
hour just to
yeah. Yeah.
travel an eighth of the distance. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's not conducive to that sort of stuff, and it's maybe that's why they don't have it downtown.
But even
But
like Mississauga or
yeah, I mean, there's got to be some
like
better
why
places,
at the
right?
airport? It just
Um, I don't know. I
yeah,
just remember it always being there, and it's just like, okay. I
yeah,
liked it because it was close to my mom's house, so it was like, okay, I can get there in 5 minutes. It's great. but
Yeah.
it's not. It's this.
It's
No,
it's a weird location.
it
The
is.
thing that my kids liked the most was there was a headphone section,
There
and
you
like
go.
so there's like Sennheiser headphones connected to like some amps and some iPads, and all they did was just play fart sounds for like half an hour.
Which headphones had the most convincing fart sound out of
Yeah.
out of all these ones? Oh man, that's too funny. Good.
Yeah, but yeah, they yeah, there's just it's not something they're ever gonna want to do again. Yeah,
No, I get
which is
that.
a shame. So it's like
I-
it's a good it's a good litmus test of like, is this stuff appealing to anyone that's not under 40? It's like,
Right, right. But at the other side of the coin, I mean, they don't have disposable income that they're going to buy hi-fi equipment with. so so it's
yeah,
like, you know,
but it's kind of a weird thing. It's just like if you wanted to, I think we talk about this all the time of like if you
yeah,
wanted to make this appealing to anyone else that's not old, like what do you
right,
do?
right. Uh, there are there are s- there are ways to do it, but it is a question, and I think, and I just think the way the economy and the way um I don't know society is right now. I think that's why personal audio is such a big deal because it's a lot easier. I think it's a lot more personalized, and it doesn't require a bunch of space,
Hmm.
which I think people are it's more expensive these days, and people are waiting longer to have their own space of any size that could you could have a decent hi-fi setup at.
Yeah.
Um, and just the price of stuff these days. It's like, there are so many other things that are, you need to spend money on or that take your attention. So it's like personal audio, I think, is just a lot.
It's a lot easier.
It's a lot easier. It's gotten bigger and it's gotten better. So I think, th- it's a double edged sword as part of in its place in hi-fi. So I think the big hi-fi setups, for your home. Right now it's just like, yeah, you need the space and you need the money and you need, and that's an older crowd. I think that's just naturally the way it is. It's just
Hmm.
taking longer and the younger crowd has always moved into that space, grown into it. I just think it's taking longer now just because of the way things are. So,
I do like so I was at IKEA the other day and I did a small review of like an IKEA Bluetooth speaker.
yeah,
It was like $70 and
right.
sounds like it's $70.
$70. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like it, but they have like if you've ever gone, they have an entire sound section now. And
Do they?
so they
It's been a
have like
while.
they have like the little Bluetooth speaker that I got, and then they have all these really small, they kind of look like Bose compact cube little things that are like 20, $30. But then they also have lamps that have speakers in them.
I heard about this. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's
And
right. That's
so I
right.
kind of want to get one now just to like see like, hey, is this like it's not going to sound great, but is it going to sound at least passable? You know what I mean? Like, and so they have lamps, they have a series of like bar speakers that are also
Hmm.
shelves.
Shelves.
Yeah, so
Really?
you can like mount them to your wall
Uh-huh.
and like it act
And
as
you
a
put s-
shelf,
and you put
but
stuff on
the
them basically.
shelf itself has speakers in it. And
Damn, okay.
it's kind of a nice thing of a like a this could be your first system. It's like a Bluetooth shelf that also like
It could
it's multi-purpose.
it's definitely thinking out of the box, that's for sure. And I mean if anyone's going to do it, IKEA would be the people to do it, I guess.
Yeah,
Um yeah, interesting. Interesting.
because then I
And
saw. Sorry, go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. I was going to say, and I mean, I think it just depends. If I mean, it'd probably sound good enough for most people who are not,
Yeah,
as nerdy about this sort of stuff as we are. So,
I think it might also be Sonos. I'm not sure.
oh, maybe is there like maybe a collaboration with Sonos? You think, or
Maybe
at least or Sonos compatible? You mean?
I think I saw something along that lines. And
Huh.
then I was on scrolling the Instagram and I saw someone made a coffee table. It's like a fairly large coffee table, but it's also a fridge, right? Where like you instead of like you pull the drawers out and you put your beer and your ice cream and your and it's like that's awesome. But
That's clever.
maybe would you have a coffee table that's also a giant Bluetooth speaker or something? Or like so you could just
You
put
could
your phone
if
on it,
you
you could wireless charge and then also be like your
they've made subwoofers that double as end tables. You know, obviously now they're making lamps that double as Bluetooth speakers. You know, why not make a coffee table that's got like Bluetooth speakers built into it? I mean, if that's going to be your your main listening thing, why not? I mean, I think it's just I think it's more just a limit to what your sort of imagination is or whatever, and if there's a market for it. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah, huh, interesting. I always thought it'd be a great idea if IKEA had like partnered with companies like I don't know, like NAD or someone like that, and they had like systems just as part of their basic systems just as part of their kind of little environments that they set up when you walk through it, and it's part of the thing, and so people see the kitchen or the bedroom or the office area, and then there's a system, then there's playing some music, and they're like, oh wow, this is cool, and then it's that they actually see the system as an integral part of the environment, and it's like, where can I get that?
Yeah.
I've always thought that would be something that they should do. And I don't know
But now they
why.
have a sound section. So it kind of
Now they
like
have their own sound section, so they're doing it themselves. So it's like,
yeah. Like my ex-wife, she like I lent her like an old speaker and an amplifier, and they just every time I go there, it's just not connected. and so I'm like, I'm gonna need that back. But do you know they have like speaker lamps? And first thing she was like, oh, that's great. I don't have to have ugly speakers in my house. I could just have a lamp that it plays music. I'm like, oh, so that's maybe the entrance point.
well, that's probably that's the market. It's like someone who doesn't really want
Want
speakers or doesn't care about it, and then it's not super critical about hi-fi or
yeah
yeah, it's, there you go, there you go.
yeah
So, divorcees.
yeah. We should take a trip to IKEA and see like if
Yeah, good place to pick up girls. No, no, no,
No,
no.
no, I meant for like maybe you should pick up a lamp speaker and see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know about that. I already got enough. I already have enough stuff in this house. I don't need
Oh
anything
yeah,
else.
on that end, what is behind you? Besides is that a Massimo sweater on your chair?
This? Yeah, this
Yeah,
was like a hoodie I got on a trip to Massimo or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I don't even
awesome.
know why it's down here. It's warm down here. I need to put it away.
All right, so
Um,
what are we seeing behind you? What is that speaker?
that is a pair of song towers. Actually, those I'm using those as my rear speakers in my computer sort of surround setup I got. I've had those for years. I mean, God, how old are those? Those are at least 15 years old, but
Oh,
they're still great, and they're a solid speaker, and yeah, sound really good. So
mm.
yeah, right now in the system, I got a pair of the Audio Icon 12s
Oh,
from
nice.
Norway. Yeah, big sort of horn speakers, and really really nice, really really nice. I got to wrap up the review on that. Yeah, and a couple of things floating around too. So yeah, yeah, a few things. How about you? You said you had the Dolly sub, right?
Got
And
the Dolly sub. I just got the Rubicore system sent in, so I got to unbox that all. I think it was supposed to originally be the LCR system,
oh yeah,
like so they have like I guess monitor speakers that can be used on its side and then vertically as well, but something happened, they're like, we can't get you those, can we just send you the sixes? I'm like, yeah, of course, it's bigger.
twist my arm. Yeah, sure.
And there was a mention, I think, of I don't think all the speakers are going to be color matched, of like I think they're all
Oh,
going to be
okay. A
which
variety of different things, which is going to be
different
interesting.
colors, but when I think about it, I think I kind of want that now on because like it's nice to have
Because
matching speakers.
you always dig
I
white
do,
speakers. I mean, that's your thing.
but then getting your hands on, but a lot of times like, you get the finish that you kind of want, and then you never see the other finishes. But now, if they are all mismatched, maybe I'll actually get to see all the other finishes. And
Well, that'll make an interesting shot. Like these are the failable finishes, and you can like see them all like
yeah,
lined up and everything. Which that'll be interesting. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think I'd be
Nice.
kind of into that, like moving forward. Of like, hey, can I get one of each?
That might be harder than you think. I mean, most times that doesn't
Yeah,
happen. So
because a lot of
this
times they have to unpack a set and then like write it off, I guess.
I wonder how they work that out. It's like I got one speaker from this reviewer's setup. I got another one from this reviewer's
I
setup.
think
So
that's
it's
what
kind of like
happened.
they just
I
sort of
think that's.
they Frankensteined it together or whatever.
I
Interesting.
haven't unboxed it yet, so like hopefully that's like there was mention of that, and I was like, okay, I'm. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, I kind of want to do that now across the board.
Well, if who knows, some folks might manufacturers might find that interesting, but I
Because
assume that would be a harder thing than not. But you never
because it
know.
happened with Q Acoustics. I did the oh my god, the Concept 30s or the 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 white bookshelf speaker, and then they sent me the gray center channel speaker, and I was like, I got to see both, and I'm like, oh, I like the gray better. Like I think you know, so it's cool to see them both. Anyway,
Oh, see, well, if they can make it happen, just doesn't worst they can say is no. So yeah,
yeah.
very neat, very very
And
neat.
then there's a Horizon speaker. I'm still kind of going through.
Right, how's that?
It is actually kind of wonderful. There is one thing that I can't figure out yet. Because right now I have it in my bedroom, connected via HDMI, and there's a lip sync issue where there's just a delay, and I can't find a setting on the HEOS app to mitigate it in any way. But I mean, it works, and it sounds great. You know,
Now you're getting lip sync delay. Is it through, like hooking it up from your TV?
so
Is
the
that the deal?
speaker, yeah, so the speaker is like a millisecond or two off.
And I don't know if I know some TVs now have have in their sound settings a delay adjustment. I don't, but that's mostly like
Well, it's
really newer
coming off an
TVs.
Apple TV, so I don't know if the Apple TV does it.
Look in the setting if in the settings section because there might be there. I don't know for sure, but there might be a delay setting or something that you could tweak around with. Just
Yeah,
check it out and see. That's the first thing that pops into my head.
but
Um,
it's a cool speaker. I
it's wild. I mean, what they did with it. I mean, it reminds me of, and I don't mean this in a derogatory fashion. I mean, aesthetically, it's very cool. Those really classic old automobile designs that used to have I guess, the spare tire on the
Mhm.
back, but it was in like it was like a beautifully designed and sort of just aesthetically gorgeous looking cover, and
Yeah,
it reminds me of that. It's that sort of very art deco sort of thing that you would see on a really classic, beautiful, you know, old car design from the 20s or something like that, or the 30s. That's kind of the first thing I thought of.
I I don't want to really ruin this too much, but so it sounds great. It looks really cool. It's expensive, but uh, what we were talking about with IKEA, where they put a speaker into a lamp, I feel like they could have put a lamp into the speaker because it has like really subtle ambient light, but it's like
Right,
it comes with a tripod and you could set it up in your room.
right.
But aside from being a speaker and taking up space, it doesn't perform any other duties. If they put some sort of like more powerful ambient lighting into this, if it's like emanating from the back or from the top, I feel like that would have elevated this to more of like a better functional use case in your home because it's expensive, right? It's like 4 grand for the small one.
It is, it is.
If it had a lamp in it or it performed as some other device,
Yeah.
that should have been thought of.
Hmm. I could see, I could see that. I can also see the idea of like doing something like that I mean, the thing looks like an art piece, so I
Mhm.
think that's probably what the thing they're going for. That just happens to play music and do it well. I think if you start adding other features like that, like a room, larger, more powerful lighting thing, I think you start getting into the, at least for me, I would start getting into the thing where it's like, okay, is this getting more to the sort of JBL party Bluetooth speaker that starts, that starts lighting, having lights and sound or whatever, and I don't know that that's sort of a market or an association they probably want to have with this sort of product. I mean, that's just my thought, but I mean, what do I know? I mean,
But
that'd just be
like,
me.
like in the age of like Philips Hue bulbs, like the lamp behind me,
Yeah, yeah.
like I can adjust the lights, and I could do all of that on the Hios app on this thing, where like I could turn up
Hmm.
there's an ambient light coming from the center, and there's lights
Mm-hmm.
on around the side.
Right.
Just take it up one more notch and be like, hey, you could actually like add, maybe complement the light in your home a little bit more. Like all the
Oh,
speakers
okay,
have it.
I could see that. I could see that, especially with the mm, the move to like more appealing to more connected home stuff and
Yeah,
integrated home stuff. Yeah, I suppose I could see that.
connect
I
it a bit
suppose I could see
more.
that.
You know.
Yeah, yeah. If it's done properly, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know.
like more alarm clocks, more lamps, more everything. Put all that stuff back in some of these things, and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't see the, yeah. I feel like it's a
Hmm.
bit of a missed opportunity, especially if you're trying to convince your significant other that like, hey, this makes sense in my home. You
There
know?
is that. There is that. I just got in a pair of Kef actually finally sent us something. They sent me a pair of the LS50 wireless um,
Metas?
speakers. Not the I don't think they're
Oh,
Metas. I think they're the wireless Mark twos or something like that. I don't know. I don't know that these are the
is
active
it
ones.
LX or LS?
I think it's LX. So
Is it the
it's the
tiny,
active ones.
tiny?
Yeah, the smaller ones.
Okay.
But they're the active ones because there's a passive one that has the meta stuff in it, and then there's the active one which I don't think has the meta stuff in it. I don't know. I haven't unboxed them yet, but what I want to do is I want to I'm just jazzed that they actually sent us something, and B, I want to actually set them up in our living room upstairs where we typically have like a small TV and it's hooked up to like a little Marantz slimline 2 channel receiver and just a pair of old speakers I have. I want to set it up in there and just do the direct connection from the TV to those speakers and see how that works. Because that's basically my wife. It's hard to get my wife down into the home theater to watch something. She kind of likes her,
Yeah.
her spot in the upstairs. And it's easy. It's not it's not a whole in her mind it's a whole to do to come downstairs, turn on the big home theater and get into something. It's a bit more of an effort. Where upstairs it's kind of like it's really easy, it's really comfortable. She can do other stuff while she's watching TV and her shows and all that stuff. So I'm curious to set it up in there to see if just having the speakers hooked up to the TV and one remote is just like, what that's like and the whole sort of just the whole use thing of it to see how easier that is than having, to turn on the TV, turn on the receiver, use the receiver remote for volume and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
that's going to be curious. And I also want to, experiment with streaming to them and stuff from like my phone and a few other things. So that'll be an interesting little kind of test case thing for those. I'm really curious to see how those do. So I've heard all sorts of good things about them. I've just never really messed with them before. So this will be interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think this will lead to more CAF stuff?
I hope so. I mean, they've been an interesting kind of curious brand. I mean, they're great sounding stuff. It's just for whatever reason we haven't really done a lot with them, and hopefully this will lead to more stuff. I hope so. It'll be fun.
I see their socials, and they're just reaching out to like all kinds of like Instagram folks
Hmm.
that,
Yeah,
but like it's all about the unboxing and like, hey, this works great. But like
yeah.
not a
I
lot
think
of like hi-fi folks, unless
yeah,
they
I think they're
buy them and then test them and then return them, sort of thing.
right. I think when who I forget if it was Mel Martin who did their subwoofer a while ago for us. He actually had to buy the unit and because we couldn't get them to send us one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think a few brands are doing that. They're trying to reach more of the. I mean, I think Bowers is doing that more, especially with their headphones and things, kind of reaching the more the Instagram influencer crowd and stuff like that. I mean, maybe that's their sort of their marketing angle with that. But
It
I'm just
makes
glad.
sense. I mean, it's kind of like modern day reviewer, right? So
Right. And these are sort of, I don't want to say they're more lifestyle products, but they're products that have a sort of a wider appeal and not just sort of the hi-fi people. So yeah, it's probably, I mean, they probably want to. It's probably a good strategy for them to try to cast a wider net in terms of appealing,
yeah,
appealing to others through the influencers and Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, Kev's always had great stuff. I've always had a good respect for them. Um,
I've always still wanted to hear the LS50 meta. I don't like it's that I it just looks so nice.
hmm It is. This I'm really looking forward to unboxing these and checking them out. I think they sent me like a green, that sort of olive green pair or whatever with
Mm,
the copper driver, which should be kind of cool looking. I
yeah,
like the LS60, that slimline active one that
that
they
looks
have.
cool.
That looks really cool, and I've heard those at a show, and they actually are not. I shouldn't say actually. It's not surprising they sound good. They sounded really good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, those are really neat too. So yeah, I ended up meeting with a couple of folks from KEF at, I think it was at Cedia, and had a really nice chat with them and stuff, and you know exchanged information, and yeah, this is kind of, it's like, oh great, let's send you something. Like, all right, great, let's do it. So
That's
you
awesome.
know yeah, hopefully we'll see if that leads to more stuff. It would be fun because
At some point,
they have
I'm just
plenty
going to
of
see the
sound.
blades in the background.
I don't know. They may be nice, but they might not be that nice yet. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's very cool. It's very cool. So yeah, just trying to think. Yeah, lots of cool stuff at CapFest. That was a lot of fun. A lot of great speakers there. Yeah, a lot of high end stuff. I told you about Luca Chesky and his little speakers. Uh,
Yeah.
his LC2s. I think those things, a 5-channel surround setup of those things, I think would just be perfect because they're just, the size of them is just perfect for like matched channels all the way around, which is really
Hmm.
cool. Um,
Was there
uh,
any more gaming setups at any of these shows?
Not so much that I recall in terms of a gaming setup. Not really. Headphone setups, yes. Gaming, not so much. Although it's funny you mentioned that Klipsch just released, or announced the release of their new Pro Media um, desktop speakers, or their upgraded versions. I mean, so for computer and gaming setups, I mean, those things used to be the original ones used to be like the standard. I used to have actually a pair of the Sats and the Subs, and they were like some of my first real sort of serious computer speakers, or good sounding computer speakers. And I think they just announced a serious upgrade to those, so that's interesting.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but no, at the shows, nothing really. It was mostly hi-fi and home theater stuff at CapFest, which
Yeah.
CapFest was typically just typical hi-fi stuff. So the fact there was more home theater stuff was a nice surprise. I mean, Paradigm had a great home theater setup there with like a whole Founder based home theater setup.
Those are
SVS, of
the
course.
best.
Oh my god, I love those speakers. They're just some of the best speakers ever. SVS, of course, had their usual. They had their new 5,000 sub there, and they partnered with Orchard Audio, and so used a bunch of their Class D amps in like this really cool looking, this really cool looking setup. I mean, they had all these Orchard Audio monoblock amps, and it looked like, the way it was stacked on the rack, it looked like some cool looking Star Trekky thing, and it was just
Yeah.
like, it was an awesome looking, setup of equipment, minimalist but very cool looking. But yeah, it sounded killer. Really great system. Um, yeah, trying to think speaker wise, it was really cool. Um, this Hungarian company called Popori have these electrostatic speakers that sounded just dynamite, really dynamite speakers. And having just visited Martin Logan, and we've seen how they have their electrostatic panels and they have the dynamic driver at the bottom for the bass.
Hmm.
These things didn't need a dynamic driver at the bottom. These panels kicked out just killer bass, which was
Huh.
like a total surprise out of a panel. But however, they've figured it out. They figured out how to generate like some serious bass out of a panel, and those speakers are actually going to be coming here after the show, so that'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting.
Was there any more open baffle speakers? Because I know those were big for you last year. Did you
Open baffles, open baffles. There was, I mean, well, I mean, those electrostatics are kind of open baffle. They're dipoles.
yeah.
The diptyque, um, planar speakers, those are open baffle. There were like a few Magnapan setups, similar sort of panel open baffle thing.
Mhm.
Trying to think what else, like if there were any dynamic driver open baffle speakers. Where is the set? This No, the Sigberg Audio is an open baffle. That's a cardioid. So, um, the silent pounds, those aren't really open baffle. Those are cardioid as well. So no, not really that. Um, a few active speakers were there. So definitely more active speakers, but not so much. I open baffle. I didn't really see that much. I'm sorry. I'm just
No, it's all good.
scrolling through the coverage right now. Yeah, no open baffle. Not so much. Not so much this year. Um, but yeah, a lot more active stuff, which was really neat. Grim Audio had the really nice sounding active setup with their to the L1C speakers, which kind of sort of look interesting, and they have a bottom mounted subwoofer, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, active speakers were a bigger deal this year. Um, but yeah, no, not much open baffle wise. I have to, if truth be told. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But that was a good show. It was a good show, and thankfully it was the last show of the year, so nothing else until probably Florida in February. So
Mm.
not going anywhere. Nice to be home because I have a ton of junk to catch up on.
Yeah, I was trying to see if there's a way to go to CES this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I heard through the pipeline there might be some cool things coming. So
Like audio stuff, hi-fi
yeah,
stuff, or
like Cambridge is apparently going to drop something there.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We stopped covering CES in 2018 because there was just like it just didn't become worth it anymore. There just wasn't a lot of hi-fi stuff anymore. So
Yeah.
I know SVS goes there regularly because they do international business there, and there are a couple of other companies that do international business there, but
Yeah.
there's just not enough of it to make it worthwhile to send somebody anymore. Which
Mm.
I'm sorry, you'd be great to send over there, but it's
No,
kind of
yeah.
like, eh.
No. I'm trying to see if there's a way to still go, but it's like it's right after Christmas, which is like,
That was
hey,
always
I'm
the
going to be poor.
that was always the trouble. That was always the
Yeah.
trouble right after Christmas. And frankly, I don't think there was a CES that I went to that I did not get sick while I was there. I mean,
Oh,
always came down with something. Always came down with something. But
but
that was just par for the course.
yeah, but it's also Vegas. It's like,
But
oh,
it is Vegas,
I
so
love Vegas.
there is that. Don't get me wrong, we had the couple of times I was there, I had some great times. I took my wife there one year, and it was a lot of fun. She went and did all
Yeah.
the shows and stuff, and museums and everything while I was covering CES, and then at dinner we would like kind of I'd be just like sitting there listening to her because she'd have all these great stories to tell me of all the fun stuff she did, and I'm like, yeah, I listen
And
to
your
speakers
and
and
your
watch some
knees
TV.
hurt.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, walking around a convention floor, concrete convention floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no, but the Vegas is always fun. So, yeah, I can
Yeah.
see the
If I
I can
could
see the draw.
finagle my way down there, I'm going to see if I can do it. But I
Yeah,
think I'd
yeah.
have to like book it sooner than later.
Something I when I was at Capital Audiofest, I was talking to a few folks about the possibility of going to the Montreal show this year or
Mm.
next year. So that may be something we might want to see about because we've never covered the Montreal show,
Mm.
and that
I've
might be
heard good
something.
things.
It's a show with history, and it's a good show. There's definitely out of
Yeah.
the Canadian shows, it's a good one. So that might be something we need to talk about. See if we can maybe tag team that one because that might be fun.
Yeah,
That might
sure.
be fun to do. Because
There's
yeah,
I find an excuse to go to Montreal is like, yeah, okay.
That'll be all right. That'll be all right. So yeah, that's kind of something that might be in the works.
Yeah.
It's just talk right now, but that might be something happening.
I think
Yeah.
either way, I'm going to go to Montreal. So,
All right. All
yeah.
right. Yeah. Oh, 'cause, yeah, I've never been to that show. I've always wanted to go. I just never, never gotten around to going. So it would be interesting. Looking
Yeah.
forward to that. Yeah, but that's kind of it from my end so far. It's just recovering from all the shows and the travel and trying to play catch up with a ton of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Cool.
That's it.
World
Uh,
traveler Carlo.
I have to say I am pretty darn lucky to be able to do
Yeah.
that. I've
It's
always loved to
awesome, man.
travel, and I'm luckier than heck to be able to do this sort of thing and get the chance to go to these. So yeah, it's fun. It's definitely worth it. And
That's awesome.
I don't I I'm grateful for whoever's out there and they say I am grateful for the opportunity to do this. So
Yeah.
so yeah. Yeah.
This is a privileged thing to be into.
It is. It is.
Like I
And
get to hear everything. you know?
yeah, and it's funny. You go to some of these shows and I mean, there's a lot of great people in audio.
Yeah.
I've met some of the nicest people in audio. Every so often you'll run into somebody who's like, you know, who's got that sort of entitled kind of feel in terms of like, oh, ooh, look at me. I'm this. Ooh, I'm that. Take me here. Take me there. Take me, wine and dine me and all this stuff. And it's like,
But it's never the guys that make the stuff.
no. And I never understood that because it's kind of like, this is a guy who, when I got hired by Secrets, I was amazed at the concept that they were even going to pay me to do reviews. I just thought, hell, I love audio. I'm just going to write about it and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm, anytime I get a chance to like visit a place or attend something or hang out with cool people, it's just something I just get constantly reminded of how lucky I am, and I'm just like really grateful for it. So it's like,
Oh, I did
yeah.
see something really funny. So when I was at Toronto Audiofest,
Mhm.
I was there with the modern audio booth, and they had the oh my god, what are those speakers called?
The hyphens, the
Yeah, the
clothespins.
hyphens, the really
Yeah,
cool looking ones.
yep.
So they're there, and then this dude rolls up with his kid, and he just goes in to like touch the speaker, and then the guy, I won't say his name, but like one of the guys there was like, "Hey, would you mind just not touching the speaker?" And this guy was like, "What do you mean, don't touch it? And what kind of place is this if I can't touch the speaker?" He's like, "Well, listen, like we only have them for a short period of time. They are very expensive, and we'd rather not get like fingerprints or
Risk any sort
scratches
of
or anything on
right.
it." And then this guy was in front of his kid was just like, "Well, what kind of speakers are these where I might scratch them with my fingers? This is stupid. You should be able to touch everything." And he just wouldn't let it go. And I'm just standing there. I'm like, what kind of example are you setting for your kid where you're just being rude?
I know.
And he looked exactly like the type of person that would complain.
Yeah.
It was the strangest thing. It was like the whole show, everyone was nice except for this one guy. And I feel like he writes mean comments on videos too. I feel like that's the guy.
He might be that guy who like is the yeah. Funny you mentioned that. Capfest. Margulies Room, great Mexican hi-fi manufacturer, beautiful stuff, tube amps, lots of wood, very cool, nice sounding stuff. Bunch of us are sitting there, listening to the demo and everything's great. Everything's going good, sounds awesome. And all of a sudden, like one guy on my left gets up, walks up to like, there's a tube amp that's like on a little stand on the floor. Walks up to the tube amp, drops down on all fours, hind ass up in the air, and is like bending over with his head behind the amp to look behind the amp to see how it's connected. And we're like sitting there with like this guy's hind end in our faces, trying to listen to this. I'm like going, does this guy not realize where he is, or like the etiquette or whatever? I mean, it's just like, here I'm sitting here listening to great music and like looking at this guy's ass in my face, and I'm like, what the hell?
I love that you posted that on social media too.
I have to admit, I posted that and then I took it off because I thought I took it off because
we're gonna put it on this video, right?
Like I can send you the picture, but it's like I put it up there and I looked at it and I thought, I don't want to be that guy. I took it off, so it's like, but it was just, I mean, dude, what the heck? You have to get up and like. It's an amp. There are like speaker connections in the back. What do you need to see? I mean, it's like
and just put it on your phone.
But and he's there for like at least a good 5 minutes on all fours. It's like, and look, I'm like, come on, dude. Honestly, it was just weird. It was really, really weird. I mean, he didn't say anything or anything, but it was just like, what are your
Did
manners,
anyone
man?
else kind of say anything, or did you catch eyes with
anyone
else?
Anything. We just like looked at each other and like going, what? Julian Margulies, the owner and stuff. I mean, he was just trying to be very cool. He didn't really say anything or whatever, but we were all just like, what the heck? So whatever. He was harmless. I mean, he didn't say or do anything. Obviously didn't damage anything, but it was just kind of like, it's just like,
what are you doing?
Come on, man. Honestly, some people are weird. It just is the way it is.
Yeah. This takes all kinds.
It does.
It's just weird to see them in the wild. It was just because everyone else is so nice, and then you're just like, "What are you doing?"
It's like, and then there's this guy. So yeah. But that's part of it. It just is what it is. So, but anyway, it was harmless and it was fun. So whatever, it's all good. Anyhow,
but on that note, I think we're gone like 2 hours.
I think we are. Oh my gosh, hour and a half or something. Yeah, we are. We are long. Oh man. Well, if anyone sits through this, thanks for watching.
And we'll try not to do 8 months between videos, I guess.
Yeah, we'll try. We need to try to get some more guests on the show. I mean, to see about maybe talk to a couple people and see about bringing them on as guests or whatever. It was fun having Steve Jan on the last time, and we had to bring him back on and.
Yeah, we could abuse him again.
We could abuse him some more. Yeah, that'd be funny.
But I still watch that clip. Watch clip.
That was funny. That was very funny. So yeah, we need to see about getting a few more guests on just for laughs. So anyhow, very cool. Good to see you, sir.
You too.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Signing off.